Bonjour and welcome to a new unboxing video, and today we're going to talk about Jerry Anderson. I mean, we haven't spoken about Jerry Anderson in a very long time, and it was about Space 1999 if I'm not mistaken. And funnily enough, we're going to talk about Space 1999, but not only Space 1999, because we're going to talk about the Anderson collection by Master Replicas, and they are actually a series of retro action figures. They are available separately, or they're available as a box set with some extras here. So I'm going to show you the whole collection, and this way you will see absolutely everything that's released. I think this is already sold out or nearly sold out in some shops, but you probably can still get it. Otherwise you can still get the individual figures. So what is the collection? But basically the Anderson collection has actually characters, retro figures in the 3.75 inches scale, so Star Wars scale. I'm thinking they may be a bit small because they look a bit slightly smaller, but you know what 3.75 inches figures can be like. They can look quite big or quite small depending on the company making them. Those originally were going to be released by Big Chief, you know, the people who used to do the big 1/6 inches figures of Doctor Who, you know, very high-end, very expensive, and then they went bankrupt, and everybody who had actually pre-ordered a lot of their items lost their money. So it doesn't start very well for that collection. So they were about to release that collection when they went bankrupt, and Master Replicas actually bought the rights to the molds, I would say, or the toolings, and basically decided to do it. So they did it, I think, in association with the Jerry Anderson website, so you could also get them from here, and basically they decided to release them as a limited edition set. So here we go. It covers the whole of Jerry Anderson series, well, at least the most famous ones, and so basically we've got the box set with the whole wave, which is made, the whole wave is 6 figures all in all, and we do have, I'm going to show you of course the figures a bit later, and this box set also contains actually a display stand, so that's the extra that you get in there. So on the side you do get 3 of the figures that are included. On this side you get all 6 figures that are included in the set, which are Troy Tempest from Stingray, Scott Tracy from the Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet from Captain Scarlet, Joe McClane from Joe 90, Ed Strucker from UFO, and the Commander John Koenig from Space 1999. In this side you've got the 3 other figures, because you've got all 6 figures, and in the bag they are actually showing you what the display looks like in black and white. So let's open this and let's see what it's all about. I have seen those at a at the UK Toy Fair in London, and they looked quite okay, but of course the ones that they were showing were basically not prototype, but they were actually nicely presented, either paint masters or stuff, so they were very nicely detailed. I'm not quite sure that those will be as detailed, but we're going to find out. So basically the box contains a white box, and the white box is probably the display stand, which we'll see later. And then we do have the 6 figures, which are individually packed. So we do have Ed Strucker, we do have John Koenig, we do have Captain Scarlet, we have Joey 90, we have Troy Tempest, And last but not least, we do have Scott Tracy. So that's the 6 figures that are included in the box, and that's all what the box has, except for some tissue paper. And of course, well, we'll see the stand after that. For the moment, we're going to discover the figures. So all of the figures have, of course, in the back you do have all 6 figures from the wave, and the front has a beautiful image of the character. It's absolutely lovely, fantastic illustration, and you do have, of course, the figure as well as some accessories. So let's open them. I intend on keeping those blister bags because I think they're absolutely gorgeous. One thing, I would say that I wouldn't say they're flimsy, but there's not very thick cardboard here. I mean, they're okay. I've seen worse. I mean, the Star Wars Retro Collection, when they started them, they were so flimsy, it was ridiculous. So it's not very thick cardboard, but I think it's more than enough for what they are needed. So let's get this. That's an interesting choice. You're going to see what I mean in a second. And here is Scott Tracy, and he looks pretty good. I'm thinking maybe the face paint job could be a bit better. Because it looks, I wouldn't say blurry, but it doesn't, I mean, it could be more polished, but those look really cool. You will see that they come with a little display stand. So they've got, we're going to remove the display stand, which has just one little pole in, and of course got the hole here. So they have, of course, 5 points of articulation because, of course, they are a retro figure. And that's the interesting thing. As you noticed, Scott Tracy just lost his hair. And you're going to find out that it's actually on purpose. So don't fret, it's not a problem with the action figure. So you've got 5 points of articulation, because of course there is also the neck. And well, it looks really cool. I mean, I do like what I'm seeing. I actually didn't expect it would be that nice. It's very well detailed. But paint job is much better than what I expected, except maybe on the face. It could be a bit more detailed, but that's fine. I mean, I've seen far worse. It does come with a little accessory, which is, of course, his little blaster. So you can, of course, put the blaster in his hand, if I manage to do it, because I'm not very good with those, as you know. Looks like his hand is a bit tight. So even though I'm sure you can put it in his hand, I would probably need to be a bit more forceful. I don't like being forceful with accessories, mostly when accessories like guns are usually, well, I'm going to do it like that because I don't want to force it. Basically the hand is completely enclosed here, so that's probably why it's difficult to put in, but don't fret. I mean, that looks really cool, I think. Don't fret though, because what you can do is you've got the holster and the gun. Actually, the blaster fits in the holster, so that's rather cool. Except if you do that, you may actually crush the you may crush it with the arm. So it's up to you. Basically, at the moment, I'm going to put it in his hand. If I can put it back in again. Right, let's do it like that. And as I was mentioning, the fact that he lost his hat is actually on purpose, because you can actually remove the hat and replace it to have a head without the hat, which I think is rather cool. That's pretty cool. That's a great idea, I think. So I love that. I didn't expect that at all. And so here we go. That's the first one. I'm just trying to find the hole. The thing is, it's always difficult when you've got a light in your face. So here we go. That is Scott Tracy, the first one of the line. I'm going to put it in there for the moment. Just making sure his hair is okay. And we're going to get to the second one of the lot, which is Troy Tempest. So Troy Tempest, same thing. It's the same design in the back. You've got the same figures. But of course the front has a separate image for the character. I think it looks really, really cool. So we're going to see what Troy Tempest looks like. But here you go. Here is Troy Tempest. And once again, it looks absolutely spectacular. It's really very good. I mean, the costume is very, very detailed. I love the paint job is really cool. As I said again, I wish that the paint job was slightly better on the face. It looks a bit unfinished, but the rest is absolutely spectacular. They look fantastic. Once again, he comes with a blaster, so that's the Stingray blaster. We're going to try and see if he can hold it. I'm pretty sure that he can, and if I'm good enough at putting those here, the thing is, usually it's, and I'm thinking that the problem with the Thunderbird one is that, yes, that's better. So it looks, it fits a lot better in Troy Tempest's hand, which is really cool, because I'm still surprised at how tight it is. But maybe it's just because it got a bit of paint that's gluing the fingers together, because this one doesn't have the fingers linked together. So probably maybe a bit of paint. And it looks fantastic. And if you want, of course, here as well, you can actually slide the gun into the holster, which is rather cool. So this is Troy Tempest. It looks really good, much better than what I would have expected. And then we're going to Joey 19. Joey 90 for me is the less interesting one. I've never been a huge fan of Joey 90. Of course, it's much smaller because that's a kid. So it does look a bit flimsy as a result. Same thing. I mean, I'm not showing you the back again. It's the same thing. And you do have, of course, the beautiful blister illustration here. So here is, as you can see, he is very flimsy. He really is. But if you compare to, of course, he's much smaller because he's a kid. But he looks actually pretty decent. I mean, I do like the fact that the glasses are actually a clear piece. I mean, they could have molded it, but it's actually a separate piece, and I'm sure you can actually remove them. And it comes with a suitcase. I don't know. Yes, you can actually open the suitcase, which is quite unexpected. So we do have, oops, we do have the opening suitcase with like files and stuff, which is rather cool. And you can also yes, so basically you've got the suitcase opening here, and you can actually also get some equipment in the bottom of the, let's see if it all opens or only one side, because I just got something that is so tiny. I'm afraid of losing it, because it does come with this tiny gun. I'm just going to try not to lose it. Is there any other thing, or is that is that just a I just want to see if it is. Actually, it does have something else, but that's going to be very difficult to get out. That is insane. So basically you've got this little holster here inside, and you've got the little sticker. And what you do have, and that's absolutely insane when you think of it, is that you've got a gun and a communicator. I mean, look at how tiny those are. It's just ridiculous. I mean, that's the figure for scale. I mean, they are absolutely tiny. I'm going to try and put them back in, which is going to be difficult because, well, it's not that I've got huge fingers, but I think it's just complicated to actually put them in and out because of the way they open. But that's actually insane that they've done this. I really didn't expect that. And just putting them back in. Here you go. I'm going to try and show them without them. So basically you can put them back in and close the bit. Is the other side also opening? Or yes, the other side is also opening. And do we have more things, or is it just... Let's see, because I need to check if you can remove the item or if they are molded. No, it looks like we can't remove those items, or maybe they're way too tight and I can't actually remove them. But at least it's fun. I mean, it's really cool, and it actually makes the figure much more interesting as a result, because as it's a really tiny figure, it's nice to have some accessories. So can he actually hold his suitcase? That's interesting. I've hoped that he could. Let's see. Can he or can he not? And he can actually hold his suitcase, so that's actually not too bad. I'm just going to check one thing on the blister in case they actually give some instructions that I would have missed. No, they just say Joe McClane, win agent, and they don't say anything else. But that's actually a very good surprise, because I wasn't aware there would be all those things, and I'm very sorry about that. But I find that my camera somehow is sorry about the camera angle change, but my camera stand actually broke. Oops. Anyway, as I was saying, it's actually interesting that they actually added that little suitcase, because otherwise it would have been a very boring figure, I think. So anyway, we still got 3 figures to see, plus the stand, because I will show you the stand, and we're going to go to Captain Scarlet and the Mysteron, and it's of course a Captain Scarlet figure. I mean, you know the drill, so I'm not going to show you again the back of the blister. You know everything you need to know about the blister. And here we go. Removing this. It's a different angle, so you but have to re-angle the light a little bit as a result, because I mean that's the thing when you change stuff. And we're going to give him, here is Captain Scarlet, and once again he looks absolutely fantastic, except still I'm not entirely convinced with the way the face is actually done with the paint job, but the rest is really cool. Once again, he's got a little gun, which is really nice, so we're going to try and give him his gun if we can. Here you go. He does have his gun in his hand, and of course, if you're not happy with having the gun in his hand, he does have once again, he does have a little holster that you can actually use. So that's actually another pretty cool figure, and we do have the last two. I mean, I will be keeping Commander Koenig for the end, and here is Ed Striker from Striker from yes, it is Striker from UFO, and we're going to see. He seems to be coming with two accessories, so it's going to be interesting to see what accessories he gets. So here is Ed Striker, which is okay. I mean, of course, the character in itself is not the most thrilling character you can think of, because basically it's a guy in a suit, but it's pretty decent. Going to be interesting to compare because I'm wondering if they use the same legs as for the Space 1999 figures, because that would be possible. And so it comes with two accessories. One is probably it's actually a block, a notepad, and I'm not sure you can actually see correctly, but it does have the Shadow logo on it, so we could always put it in his hand. And he does also come with, of course, a gun. So here is the little gun for Ed Striker. And I'm going to give him his gun. See, yeah, it fits without any problem. Here we go. That's Ed Striker. He looks good. He really does. Same thing. I mean, I do have the same issue with the paint job for the faces, which could be a bit better, but the rest of the figure in itself is very good. And last but not least, we do have Commander Koenig, and I can tell you now that no, they're not the same legs because of course he's got his long tunic. So of course we do have the image of Commander Koenig at the front, and here is Commander Koenig, who looks really good, except once again I think the paint on the face is slightly a letdown, but otherwise it looks really cool. And he does have a plug on one side where you can actually hopefully put his com lock, because that's the com lock here. So let's see if the com lock actually fits in it or not. Yes, it does fit neatly here. And of course we're going to see if the stun gun, because I'm going to show you the stun gun like this if I can. Doesn't make it very easy to show you, because well, it's a tiny accessory once again, and we're going to see if it fits and trying not to lose it. So how is that supposed to go? It's supposed to go like this, and yes, the stun gun actually fits in the holster, which is rather cool. And can we move his arm without bashing anything? Yes, we can. So here we go. That's basically the 6 figures in the set. And of course we still have the stand, which I'm expecting is going to be a very cheap vacuum form stand, hopefully with a background, but it's still better than nothing, I suppose. But yes, it is definitely a vacuum form stand. And we do have a backdrop here. Is there anything else in the box? No, that's absolutely all there is. So we're going to see, yeah, as you can see, it's a vacuum form tray, a bit cheap. It's a nice add-on, and you do have a little backdrop which says the Anderson collection. So we're going to try and put it here, which shouldn't be too bad. So it's not too difficult to put. and then we just have to literally put the figures in. So here is the full display. If that's going to be difficult because, well, let's do it that way because it's, as you can see, I'm having some trouble keeping everything in place, because even though, I mean, the idea is fun, but it's extremely cheaply made, so the stands actually move because the stands are slightly too small to fit in the hole. So here you go, you do have all 6 figures here. What's interesting is that you have enough space for 2 more waves, so 12 more figures, which is interesting. Of course, we do know that second wave coming, because of course on the box it does say that it is I didn't say that, but on the box and on the blister, it will be easier to show on the blister, it says collection 1. We do know that collection 2 is coming because pre-orders for collection 2 are already in place, so it's just a question of I'm going to tell you what it is. So we do have in the second collection, we do have Alan Carter from Space 1999, we do have Lieutenant Green, we do have Captain Black, John Tracy, Virgil Tracy, and Lieutenant George Phones Sheridan. So that's the 6 figures. So it means that we will have 3 out of the 5 Thunderbirds. We will have 2 characters of Space 1999. We will have 3 figures from Captain Scarlet, and only 1 so far from 3. Yes, exactly. Sorry, getting confused. 2 from Stingray. So we may have more of those in the 3rd series. One thing to know is that the collection 2, so wave 2, will be sold in 6 packs, 6 separate packs. But if you buy the collection, there will be a 7th figure, which will be Colonel White. So basically, it might be a good idea to get the collection just to get the extra figures. So those are out. The box set is about 75 quid in the UK, and each figure is £14.99 in the UK, pounds, £14.99. So you'd have to check what the price is in the US because Master Replicas sells worldwide, so you shouldn't have any problem getting those. And they're not the only ones selling them. I think in the UK I've got Star Action Figure that has them. Jerry Anderson's website also have them, and I'm sure there's other places where you can get them. So here we go, Anderson collection by Master Replicas. I'm actually nicely surprised. My only issue is, for example, I'm taking a 3.75 inch figure to compare. So they are the same size, but for some reason they feel a bit more flimsy than those. But then again, it's a different style, so this is more of a retro feel, as they would have been done in the 70s, whereas this is retro but still done in a modern way, if I may say so. So here you go, Anderson collection, the collection 1, and it's out from Master Replica. And I will speak to you again soon. Bye. With a new camera stand, hopefully.
The first time you do that on this sort of scale. This is the Matchbox one. So if you've got the Matchbox toy to hand, you can make an idea of the size. I know how big they are, but you want to sort of get a feel for it. A comparison side by side. Okie dokie. And how things have changed. What year is this? 1992. Ages 4 and up. And on the back, I'm sure this one says something like 36 months. So it makes you wonder what to do. So there you go. There's double vision for Stingray. Take those out of the way. The Matchbox version. How about that then? side by side. People can argue with the colours forever and a day. Obviously, on the Matchbox one, the gun was moulded in, and you got a secondary firearm. Back to back, just for sheer sake of seeing completest. Let's take them out of the way. Here we have Mr. Metcalf from Manchester, aka Captain Scarlet. And like all the others, I do the action figure one, this time by Vivid. And 4 years and plus. Compare the two side by side. As you can see, the people can sometimes sort of say, "Oh, they don't like the prototypes." Well, no, these are mass-produced toys. You mould them in the correct colour plastics, like the flesh tones. So they will look like action figures, because you know what? They are action figures. And you can see what we got here. 20 odd years difference between manufacture. Or was it 93? Oh, maybe more than 20 years. Makes you feel a bit old, doesn't it?